Hey everyone, how you doing today? Today we're looking at Proverbs chapter 7, and hopefully you started with this last week, and if not, you've watched the videos and you've caught up with us. We're on day 7, the end of this first week, and I hope you're enjoying these Proverbs a day that we've been walking through together. I tell you, it's been challenging and it's been awesome for me personally. But today we're looking at Proverbs chapter 7. And it's one of these chapters that just jumps out at me, and every time I read it, it just speaks to me so great. And it starts off with a warning. And whenever I see these scriptures, it just it grabs my attention. It says, okay, Brandon, pay attention to what you're about to read. And literally that's what it says. Verse 1, it says, follow my advice, my son. Always treasure my commands. Obey my commands and live. Guard my instructions as you guard your own eyes. So, I mean, it's basically waving a flag saying, hey, pay attention here. It's like a red siren, and alarms going off saying, pay attention to what I'm about to say. And basically the chapter, it's talking about, the writer's telling a story. He says, I saw some naive young men, and one in particular, who lacked common sense. That says to me, hey, have common sense. If you can have common sense, you can probably do pretty well in this life if you'll just use the common sense that God gives us. But it says that he was crossing the street near the house of an immoral woman, strolling down the path by her house. And basically, you know, I think that says a lot of times we all know what sin does, how it intrigues us, and there are certain things that draws us and that attracts us, and we know that they're wrong. But what this man was doing is it looks like purposely went down the road that he knew where there was sin, where there was going to be an attraction or a desire that he knew was wrong. So that warns me. It tells me to stay away from those things that I know might trap me, might entice me to do something that's wrong. It goes on to tell how this woman enticed him and deceived him and got him to ultimately commit adultery and sin. And that speaks to us men, you know, as we, you know, struggle with lust, and we struggle with things that we know we shouldn't go down that path. But basically, I think it speaks to all of us, in that there are things in our lives that we know, whether it be lust or whether it be lying or, you know, any of the other sins. We know there's things that we need to stay away from. And so I think this chapter just reminds us to just don't even go down that path. Don't even go down that road. And if you use the common sense that God's given us, as this man failed to do, then we'll be safe and free from sin. At the end, basically the end of the story, the man, he falls. It says that he followed her at once like an ox going to the slaughter. And that is, you know, just watching an ox go to slaughter, I mean, I don't want to be like an ox going to slaughter, and I don't know, you don't either. It says that he was like a bird flying into a snare, little knowing it would cost him his life. So ignoring the common sense, going down the path of sin, it can cost you your life. And I'll tell you, it's a strong warning for me today to flee from temptation, flee from evil. You know, James 1:14-15 talks about how sin, when it is finished, it brings forth death. It gives birth to death. And I know that if I can just avoid those things and avoid the traps that the enemy has set for me, then God will provide life and freedom, and I will be able to live in his righteousness and his love. So I hope that challenges you today. If you want to, maybe leave a comment on what this chapter has spoken to you about today. If there's a snare or a trap that you know you find yourself in sometimes, feel free to leave an anonymous comment and put it out there. Say, hey, this is the area that I know I need God's help with. But anyway, I hope that challenges you today. I hope this word spoke to you. I hope you'll continue on this journey with this as we look at Proverbs a day. Y'all be blessed today. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.